Hello, this is DigiVixen here to give you your very special Legend of Korra season finale review. Now, to start us off, I'll give a little recap of what's going on. Amon has taken over the city, driven Tenzin and his family out, and Korra and her group underground. Now, at the very beginning of this episode, called Skeletons in the Closet, we see Korra and Mako together, disguised as chi blockers, listening to Mr. Megaphone Man, as I like to call him, basically announced that Amon has succeeded in his takeover of Republic City, and he's gathering all the benders, making bending illegal, and taking their bending away, and basically saying that within a few generations, bending will be totally eliminated throughout the world, and the world will become, equal, and everybody will be on even ground, and there won't be any fear for non-benders anymore against benders. So they, after listening to that, they go back to the little base with Gomu, who we see in the very first episode as the man in the bush. Very funny guy. He's taken them in. He's against the whole anti-bending movement, even though he's a non-bender, apparently. And the underground hobo city has taken them in while they wait for General Iroh, the grandson of Lord Zuko, to come and retake the city with his United Republic Army. Well, there's a little tension going on romantically between Mako and Korra again. They, on their way back to Gomu to have dinner, they have a little talk, and Mako has come to terms with his feelings for Korra, and basically states how amazing and wonderful she is, and how he can't imagine life without her. And Korra reciprocates to some degree, saying, yeah, I feel the same way, but you already know that. And it looks like they're going to kiss, but they don't. In fact, it's Korra that stops the kiss. She has this look of guilt on her face, probably because she feels badly that her brashness and confessing and kissing Mako earlier in episode 5, I believe it was, after he had already started going out with Asami. She carries some guilt for that at the moment. And she wants to, and she has other things going on. But anyway, the kiss doesn't happen. They go back, have dinner with Gomu. Gomu admits where the food for the stew comes from. It's basically from dumpster diving. It's dumpster diving stew. Yum. Bolin loves it because if you remember, Mako and Bolin were at one time basically street urchins, as Hiroshi Sato calls them. I think he calls them street urchins or something like that. Because, they were orphans from their parents being killed. But Asami does not. She finds out where it comes from and immediately is like, blah, sets the bowl aside, which Pabu immediately starts licking up. So no problem with wasted food there, except for the portion where she kind of, well, I guess she pukes it back in the bowl, so whatever. She didn't actually swallow it. Anyway, so we have that going on, and then they do some more reconnaissance later after dinner, keeping an eye on the harbor, waiting for General Iroh to show up, who is the grandson of Lord Zuko and is the general of the United Republic Army. Well, they say they finally arrive. General Iroh finally arrives, and immediately he suspects something's up because he doesn't get immediately attacked. He's like, something's going on. Well, we find out that there's water mines. There's the kind from like World War I and World War II, if you ever pay attention in history class, have been set in the harbor to basically, give a barrier between them and the harbor for Amon's troops. But they come in, Amon's troops come in after, the ships start getting hit by the water mines, start, running into them. They come in on biplanes of all things. Oh my gosh, World War I. I love it. I love it. This is such steampunk awesomeness. I love the design of the planes. They were amazing. And so they start attacking, and basically the counter push, the retake of the city, it looks like it basically fails. And Korra, being the brash young woman that she is, being the Avatar, dives into the water and basically tries to use her powers to slow down the airstrike. And but however they really target General Iroh's ship, and he ends up going overboard and nearly drowning, and Korra saves him and takes him to the underground where her and her team are currently residing, patches him up, and basically they decide that even though their initial push to retake the city has failed, there's reinforcements that are on their way. So we find out that Gomu, the hobo, is actually apparently he has some ties with the military. If you look at the wiki for it, you'll find out a little bit more. They give a little bit more, but I won't spoil that part for you. He's a communications officer apparently, and they have a telegraphing ability, and machine where the SOS kind of thing, beep beep beep, beep beep beep, stuff like that. The kind. Anyway, he sends a message to apparently to Boomy, who is the eldest son of Aang and Tenzin's brother, who is also a big honcho in the United Republic Army, to not come and back them up, but to retreat to a certain location and wait until the all clear is given for them to come in, because they don't want the same thing to happen to his fleet that happened to General Iroh's fleet. So they make that plan, and then because Korra and her team know about the airplanes now, these biplanes, they make a plan to find where this airfield that they're launching them from. So basically they decide to split up. Korra is tired of sitting around waiting. She's tired of being patient and waiting. So she decides to confront Amon. Now is the time to confront Amon. She can't handle it any longer. And Mako decides to go with her. And at this point, this is where basically the relationship between Asami and in Mako ends. They end on fairly good terms, and I'm very happy for that. I believe I'm kind of sad that the relationship ended, in a way, but what can you do? This is love is always complicated, especially in an animated series. But she gives him a sweet kiss goodbye on the cheeks and lets him go on this mission with Korra to confront Amon, while the, the others, Asami and Bolin, and I think General Iroh goes with them too, to find this airstrip and to basically slow down and block the continued efforts from them from doing any more damage to the United Public Fleet. So we got that going on. Asami's father is there at the airstrip. They find the airstrip. Bolin and them find the airstrip. They take Naga and Pabu as their Naga as their transportation, and find the airstrip. Start tearing it up. Asami ends up being her meeting her father, and they have this ultimate confrontation, and it looks like, Asami's winning at first, but then like Asami's father comes back with more vengeance and saying how ungrateful Asami has been as a daughter, that he's just trying to avenge his mother's death, his wife and her mother's death. But and so he just really relentlessly goes after Asami, and Bolin comes in and saves her from getting too much damage with his awesome earthbending, and Hiroshi Sato is basically taken out by Asami herself, and she's obviously upset by this, and this is where I'll stop.